Hello Year 3. For English today, we're going to be looking at clauses and commas. First of all, let's have a look at a main clause. A main clause is a group of words that includes a subject and a verb. If a clause works on its own as a complete sentence, it's a main clause. In this example, each sentence is a main clause. The penguin jumped in the water, full stop. It chased a fish, full stop. Both complete sentences. We can join the sentences with a conjunction such as and, but, and or. We can remember what a conjunction is if we remember the word junction. Junction is a place where things join. Therefore, our sentences are joining. To join our two sentences here, we would say the penguin jumped in the water and it chased a fish. What we will focus on today are subordinate clauses. They give more meaning to the main clause. They cannot work on its own because it is not a complete sentence. Subordinate clauses use different types of conjunctions, using words such as although, because, before, if, since, and when. The penguin jumped in the water. It chased a fish. To join them, we're going to use before it chased a fish. Before it chased a fish is the subordinate clause. We see before it chased a fish cannot work by itself. It needs the main clause to make sense. With the main clause and the subordinate clause together, we now have something called a complex sentence. As we just learned, some sentences include clauses that would not make sense on their own. These are called complex sentences. For example, although I left early, I was late for school. The clause, although I left early, does not make sense on its own, so therefore it is a subordinate clause. When a subordinate clause comes first in a sentence, it is followed by a comma to separate it from the rest of the sentence. Let's try some examples. To write our examples, we could use a range of subordinating conjunctions. Remember, a conjunction is a joining word. We can do a comparison, a time, concession, place, relative adjective, relative pronoun, reason, condition, or manner. Let's try some of these out. Here we have a subordinate clause at the end of a sentence. We are giving more information about time. Here's the sentence. The kids went to the ice cream shop after the movie. We can also use a subordinate clause at the beginning of a sentence, but we need to use a comma. After the movie, comma, the kids went to the ice cream shop. We can use a subordinate clause to give extra information about many different things. Here we have another example using a reason why to give more information. The kids went to the ice cream shop because it was hot outside. And moving the subordinate clause to the front of the sentence, because it was hot outside, comma, the kids went to the ice cream shop. Now it's your turn. Let's add some more information using a subordinate clause. Here we are using a concession to add more information. So the main clause is, I only got 75% on my exam. This is a complete sentence by itself, but we want a complex sentence. So let's use the concession even though. I only got 75% on my exam even though, what can we add here? And let's now change the subordinate clause to the beginning of the sentence. Even though, I only got 75% on my exam. For example, we could say, I only got 75% on my exam even though I studied really hard. Even though I studied really hard, I only got 75% on my exam. Let's now use a condition conjunction. Let's try if. I will go to the beach if, and at the beginning of the sentence, if, I will go to the beach. So what condition would you go to the beach? Maybe, I will go to the beach if it is sunny. If it is sunny, I will go to the beach. Let's practice finding the subordinate clause within a sentence. Let's underline it. First, the easiest thing to do is to find the conjunctions. Where are the conjunction words? In the first sentence, we have if. The second sentence, while. Third, although. After. And the last one, only if. That's a conditional one. Next, we have a look to see if that conjunction word is at the beginning or the end of the complex sentences. We always know that the conjunction word comes with the subordinate clause. It works as its own little package, right? Which means that if it's the beginning of the sentence, we need to stop at the comma. That is our subordinate clause. And then if it goes in the middle of the sentence, those words plus the words after it are then our subordinate clause. So here we can say, if the cat meows, you should feed it. So the subordinate clause part is if the cat meows, because we see it finishes there with a comma. Next, while he sleeps, comma, we've just found the complete subordinate clause, while he sleeps. I held the spider although, this is in the middle, although I was terrified of it. This is our subordinate clause. After I read this book, comma, that's where we can stop. That's our subordinate clause again. And then this one has the conjunction in the middle. I will get to eat dessert only if I eat all my vegetables. That's the extra information. All of the words after the conjunction word. Now, let's try moving the subordinate clauses to the front of the complex sentences. What I've done is I've highlighted the conjunctions, and now we're going to move everything to the front, the whole subordinate clause, and then remember we have to add a comma. So the first one is, he doesn't like flowers even though he's a florist. So we move from the conjunction word, even though he is a florist, comma, he doesn't like flowers. The second one, I eat popcorn whenever I watch a movie. From the conjunction word, whenever I watch a movie, comma, I eat popcorn. Number 3, the computer stopped working when the power cut out. When the power cut out, comma, the computer stopped working. The fourth one, he will wait for his sister while she has her operation. Let's move that whole subordinate clause forward. While she has her operation, comma, he will wait for his sister. And the last one, I watched the TV show before I went to bed. Before I went to bed, I watched the TV show. In your Pupils book on page 127, I'd like you to do the 2 sets of exercises. A, find and underline the subordinate clause. Number 1, when I got home from school, I was hungry. Number 2, after I had eaten my breakfast, I cleaned my teeth. And B, I want you to add the comma in the correct place. Find where's the subordinate clause and the main clause, and put a comma to separate the two. Before I left the house, I picked up my school bag. While it is in its burrow, the meerkat is safe. Now, can I tell you a little sneaky trick? Usually you pause in your speaking when you put the comma. So you can go back and listen to how I read those 2 sentences and then see where did I pause, and you can put the comma in there. In your workbook on page 66, please complete these exercises also. A, underline the main clause in the following sentences, not the subordinate one, the main clause. Number 1, before getting dressed, Ravi cleaned his teeth. Number 2, after school finished, Susan went to play at Millie's house. Number 3, when his mother came in the room, Khan was fast asleep. Number 4, before slamming the door, Frida grabbed her coat. Number 5, when Enzo got up, He couldn't believe it was snowing. Now remember, the main clause can work as a sentence all by itself. So try cutting out each part of the sentence and read it and see if it sounds like a complete sentence all by itself. Underline the main clause, please. For example, number 1. Let's split it up into 2. Before getting dressed. Does that sound like a complete sentence? The second half, Ravi cleaned his teeth. Does that sound like a complete sentence? Yes, it does. Ravi cleaned his teeth is the main clause. It is a complete sentence all by itself. So what we're going to do is underline that sentence, the main clause. Continue on with 2, 3, 4, and 5 by yourselves. For section B, I want you to complete the sentences with your own ideas, but you also have to put a comma in the correct place after the subordinate clause. Number 1, before picking Juan up from school, his mother, although Flora loved going to stay at her cousin's house, she didn't. Number 3, after Ewan had finished his dinner, he. Number 4, when Alexander went to the park, he was surprised to. As Norma was leaving the house, her mother. Let's do one example together. Number 1, before picking Juan up from school, his mother. What could his mother have done before picking him up from school? Let's say, before picking Juan up from school, his mother went to the shops. Next, we have to put the comma in the correct place. Let's find the subordinate clause. Before picking Juan up from school, comma, his mother went to the shops. We can see this because his mother went to the shops is a complete sentence. It's the main clause. And before picking Juan up from school is the extra information. So please complete 2, 3, 4, and 5 together and then send everything to the English email address for us to check. Thank you, Year 3.